There are also a number of issues here at home, and one in particular that we do need to address. This is a frightening statistic. 26 Australian women have died this year, allegedly at the hands of a male perpetrator. That statistic alone is shameful. How on earth did we get here? Now, over the weekend, thousands rallied across Australia calling for an end to violence against women. And quite rightly, we have a right to be fed up and angry. These are our mothers, daughters, sisters, aunties and friends. And as I look at some of the signs at the rallies, they say, real mates call their mates in. Call out your mates, another sign reads. Educate your sons, says another. Now, if we want to stamp out this scourge, we all have a role to play. But rallies alone won't fix this crisis. The system is broken now. And as we found out this week, the justice system is letting women down. Yet, all we have heard is talk of inquiries, reports, as we do, of course, every time a woman is allegedly killed. And what has changed? Nothing. All the while, the national plan is clearly not working.
That is a record amount of funding put in to back our plan up. So there is a significant funding. Many of those programs are starting to roll out and we'll start to see the benefits of those. The benefits of these programs won't be seen for some time.
For some time? Well, it's too late. Women are sitting ducks. How much longer can we wait to see results while one woman is killed every 4 days? James, that statistic is frightening, and you can see why people are angry. Now, I don't believe that every man is a monster. That's absolutely not what I'm saying here. But every single one of us have a role to play in this discussion because something has to be done.
Yeah, I mean, it's a scourge on our society, and the way that you treat your women and your children says a great deal about a civilised society. In fact, I would argue that's one of the key markers of a civilised society. So to see increasing violence against women, I think, is a sign of the degradation of our culture. And I agree government has a role to play. But the fact is, this goes a lot further than government. Government can't replace churches. Government can't replace married couples. Government can't replace all of those institutions which have held society together. So this is an issue much bigger than we need a few, band-aids applied by government. There's a lot more going on.
Yeah, there is a lot more going on, but something needs to be done urgently. We can't keep talking about it, James. It's as simple as that because people are angry now.
Yeah, well, I mean, let me talk to you about another aspect of the culture breaking down, because you can see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Climate catastrophists have come up with a new and ghoulish way to help the environment. Not content with taking our cars, our gas cooktops or our meat, they now want to take our bodies when we die and use them as compost. The ABC ran an article today arguing that instead of being buried or cremated, like in the old days when life was sacred and human beings had inherent dignity, we should be turned into plant food. The article claimed it was 87% more energy efficient to turn grandma into worm food than to bury her in the traditional manner. And that's good to know, because the number one thing on everyone's mind at grandma's funeral is, well, wait, how environmentally friendly is this? Human composting is currently illegal in Australia, but will be legalised in California from 2027. The process, Danica, it goes like this. The body of the deceased is placed in a metal tin where it breaks down into compost over a period of weeks, and then your loved one, transformed into a cubic metre of dirt, is presented to you, presumably so you can get started on that long-awaited veggie patch. Now, when it comes to a broken refrigerator, there's not much discussion on what to do with it. It's trash. But you're not an appliance. You're a human being. We've got to ask ourselves, is there a difference? And that's the real question. Because if Grandpa is nothing, then reduce him to his utility and compost him in one last attempt to squeeze something useful out of him. But if humans are created in the image of God, which we always believed in the West, then they have an inherent dignity that is undiminished even in death. And so that's why traditional burial recognises that a man is more than a sack of meat. He's a creation of infinite worth because he's made in the image of God. And we respect the dead as a way of honouring that image. Arguing that men should be reduced to compost is an argument made in a culture that no longer believes in God and so no longer believes in the inherent dignity and worth of humanity. humans as compost might be good for the soil, Danica, but it's not good for the soul of humanity. It's just another attempt, I think, to further diminish us. And we're seeing that in every part of our culture right now.
Well, you see, the Climate Crusade Brigade, they want us, firstly, they want to tell us which type of car we should be driving, which energy source, of course, we should be using in our house. And now, James, they want to lecture us on what we should do when we die.
Because they regard us as a cancer or a virus on the planet. We are a parasite that needs to be controlled. And it's a great fall for humanity from a once lofty and dignified position to now being treated like we are a cancer, a parasite.
Yeah, this is what we've become. This is what happens.
So no wonder we've got problems everywhere with women and violence and all. It all stems back to
It all stems back to it. It all does. But look, let's move on, James, because US President Joe Biden has signed legislation which would see TikTok banned in the country.
Now, this came after a bill passed both houses with bipartisan support, forcing the Chinese-owned platform to either be sold or banned within a year.
And pressure is, as we know now, mounting on Albanese to do the same. But previously, he hasn't been so keen to follow suit.
We're independent. We don't follow other countries. What we do is we make decisions based on our security assessments.
Well, chief among those calling for the Aussie ban is Senator James Paterson. He's been leading the charge, absolutely grilling TikTok staff in Senate committee hearings on foreign interference. Have a look.
You can't, on the one hand, say we've got these really robust processes and we track and log everything, and then also not be able to tell me how often it's been accessed. They both can't be true. Either you can't tell me because you don't know, or you do know and you're refusing to tell me. How often has Australian user data been accessed by mainland China employees?
I don't have specific numbers in front of me. I'd be happy to take that on notice.